So in the morning, we're remediating mold, getting rid of everything that might have mold on it. All these extra pieces of sheetrock, shingles, pieces of bedding, extra pieces of carpeting, and really something up here you can see what's going on inside this insulation. So all of this insulation is getting removed. That's all evidence of mice. It will all be removed. It will all be removed. All of these pieces of wood, all of these old lights, pieces of cabinets, and here we'll get rid of the mold, and in this air handler room, clean this all up, get rid of everything, take out all the insulation, and we're going to be cleaned up. Can't wait. Cleaning crew is here, 8 a.m. Saturday. Got 6 people are here now. Look for a crew of 10.
Yeah, we're gonna
So getting prepared. They sealed off the basement, so when they start with the air handlers and pulling up everything, that they protect the upstairs as much as possible. We have ram board, protect the floors.
Primary risk to us today is mice feces. And as we all know, mice feces is virtually all you can touch. However, the dust from it will cause you significant problems. Once you start, and at the end of this safety brief, you can no longer wear a face covering. You have to wear a minimum of an N95 mask. Once you go into this building for, if you get hurt, and you're wearing a face covering, I don't want to hear it. If you wear something else and you feel a problem, come talk to me. Okay, this is going to be 2 separate projects today. 1 is the basement, 2 is the rest of the house. Okay, anything that is detachable in this house, such as window treatments, carpets, insulation, is coming out. We're going to have 2 captains on this team. James is a captain and Will is a captain. You're going to break down into 2 teams. Okay, James is going to have the basement. Will is going to have the 1st and 2nd floors. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is separate. I'll get to that in a second. In the basement, the risks are substantially higher. The reason that the risks are higher is, in addition to mice feces, we're also dealing with mold. Again, as we know, the thing that you have to be most concerned about with mold is the things that you breathe. Once you go down after this brief, you take an air scrubber with you, and it's got to be running pretty much the whole day. Every once in a while, to take a peek at the filter, the same way we do with our mask. If it looks crappy, come out and get a new one. Guys that are going in the basement, when you start pulling down insulation from the top, you've got to be having a suit on. Otherwise, you're going to get that crap all over you, whether it be mice feces or mold. I want you to have suits on, and primarily what I want is the hood. Remember, we are a team. No one takes a break saying they're tired. If you are tired, you go to your captain and say, I'm tired. And then the captain will say, okay, our whole team is going to take a break. We don't take individual breaks. If you need a break, you will get it. You just talk to your captain. Any questions? All right, James, can you come on this side for a second? Okay, Raymond, you're on this team. Chris, you're on this team. Charles, you're on this team. And Austin, you're on this team initially, but you're going to get traded when Nolan shows up. You're going to go to this team.
So I'm starting here.
You're starting here, and you're going to go there, because I don't want that to be short-handed for Nolan. Once Nolan comes, Nolan goes on this team, and you go to that team. There's going to be a lot of carpets that we're going to have to take up, tack strips we're going to have to take up, things like that. Make sure you have your equipment. If you don't have a knife, grab a knife, because you're going to be cutting carpets. If you're cutting carpets, you're going to want to put 1 roll of tape. Everything is going in the dumpster. We don't need to pack it like we're shipping it to California. one roll of tape just to keep it so we can walk out of here and get it out of the house. Any questions from this group? Are you good?
Good.
You take your group and go. This group over here, before we get started, what I don't want to do is I don't want to damage this house any more than it already is. As you can see, they've redone the floor, so I'm somewhat concerned about those floors. Be careful of where you put equipment. Be careful if you're working on an area that's not covered. If it's not covered, let's figure out if we can get it covered before we go any further. Right? There's a little bit more of that ram board in there. Make paths where we need it so we can go, but then start getting the first floor. This is your group. You know you can't wear that, so get that off and go on to the next step.
Just to eliminate like that little gap there. That's up to you.
Got the whole crew here now, 10 people.
So the mold remediation and cleaning has started. I can hear it downstairs. Hear that banging? Ooh, dumpster's full already. Half full. 2 hours.
Up down. If you need lights, if you need a ladder, just come and get me and I'll get it for you. Looks good.
So you can see the air scrubbers. Carpeting's out. Carpeting's out. Cleaned out. This is the tough room right here. They put the pros in this one. The A-team.
See this filter?
Yeah.
Okay, you can look at that filter
Oh, yeah, you can
there
see it
versus
already.
what it looks like
Yeah.
outside. Well, this one started like that one.
Wow, it's already getting full. Okay, so in the basement.
Okay, this was the
Wow.
room. If you remember, you had the
Yeah.
bad blood stain here.
Yeah.
That's about as good as we're gonna get that blood stain.
Great. And you cleaned off all the mold off of
Yep.
the walls? Wow.
Okay? Now this is a finished room, except one more fogging it's gonna get.
Okay.
So what we got out of here was all of your insulation, all of your cobwebs, all of the mice feces.
And the dead mouse.
And the what?
The dead mouse.
Oh, the dead mouse.
Wow, the air handler looks great.
Okay, this room, the mold off of the ceiling was taken care of, the mold on the cabinet was taken care of. The floors, obviously, we took up all the feces.
Yeah.
Okay, so this room is done except for the last fog.
Okay. And this is from the glue from
This
the...
is the glue. See where I put the glue?
Yeah.
Now, can that come up? Yes. You will pay me, a ridiculous amount of money.
It doesn't need to be, really.
Yeah. And then, and this is the same chemical that you're using upstairs. Aftershock along with a degreaser.
Okay. This was the dungeon right here.
This is the
restaurant.
bathroom. But all of the insulation is out. We've cleaned all up the feces. What hasn't been done yet, as you can see, this is what those spots look like.
Yeah.
We haven't done that.
What is that?
That's a dead mouse problem.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if you know this or not, but when you poison a mouse, his stomach explodes.
Ah.
That's how they die.
So that's probably from that?
That's where a mouse died. Okay, but this is the room you had filled with all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
Wow.
So the mold has not been cleaned in this room yet.
You do that today?
Yeah, well, hopefully we're gonna get that done today.
Beautiful. And on the walls, the same thing?
Same
Clean the
thing.
mold off the walls?
Yep.
Wow.
So what I'm using as a gauge for what I'm going to clean versus what I'm gonna rip out is this is solid.
Yeah.
If that was mold where it had gone through it, your hand would go right through that. You have like a bunch of crap over here, and a bunch of crap on that side. It's obviously been swept, the vacuum. That's great. You're starting off on the ceiling. Anywhere where there's any stuff, they gotta scrub the scrub. If they don't have to scrub their springs and like, but they start from this way and they're working their way down. But before they could come in here, this room was swept, this room was vacuumed, now they're coming back to steady white.
Smells better.
Beautiful. And this is, what is the thing? We got one guy with the shop back over here. And after anything, he's actually putting the light from behind.
Putting down ram board to protect the floors and save a little money on the contractors doing it. Let them focus on the disinfecting.
Another day of cleaning. And the workers are in PPE outfits.
The whole downstairs is clean, smells good. Got rid of the insulation with the issues. Walking through. Looks great. Shelves clean. Baseboard here's cleaned. Got some issues to deal with in the ceiling, but that's really not much. Nice and clean. Storage room clean. Wine cellar clean. And the important rooms, HVAC room clean. Playroom cleaned. We just have to get some of the foam padding taken off. This was the amazing job. Everything cleaned from the sheetrock, all inside, all the stuff removed, cleaned and disinfected, all the insulation removed. And I'm just going to see if I can replace these two lights.
So the cleaners just left and they pointed out that mice were even crawling all along these rails in all these kitchen drawers. They were everywhere. Everything has been finally disinfected and just about everything is done. Looks pretty good. It's getting late in the day. You may not be able to see the difference, but they were on their hands and knees scrubbing this floor. And you can see where they ran out of time. It's been completely cleaned and disinfected, but they couldn't get all the grime off. So I will work on that. It's a little dark and not all the lights are working in the house yet, but here is the master. It's been thoroughly disinfected. Every single thing, including just like everything. There were rub marks. You know, this has been disinfected, but it doesn't come out. There are like stains on there from the mice. But it's clean. Every single thing has been cleaned in here. They did an extra careful job on the marble here. There's still rub marks. They stain. They just don't come out completely. Can you see that? Especially things like marble. And they completely cleaned in the closet. All right, all the carpet is gone. We're gonna have to figure out what to do because it just was, mouse feces and urine and drag marks everywhere. So here's the master. Ooh. I turned on the fan and I don't know how to turn it off. One of these switches, maybe. Yep, one of those. Look how pretty that is. And they even got all the way up there and got off as much of the extra stuff that was hanging off as they could get. Smells clean in here. And the other closet, scrubbed. It smells so good. And the bathroom, oh, I still don't think any lights work in here. Everything's out. But what a difference. Look at this place. Scrubbed clean. All those mouse marks that went all the way around that toilet, all cleaned. And the tub. It smells so clean in here. I wish these lights would work. Oh, no switches. Okay. So they even, they cleaned up the construction dirt too from the broken pipe. We still need to get that fixed. And this is like the sitting area of the master. Oh, there's David.
Hey.